Hi, everyone. Today is our second class, so cannot miss it. Remember that all our classes will be recorded, so you just have to go to our showroom, and there will be a button that says memory, and you can watch it and watch it again. And our showroom will be open for 1 month. Can you believe it? It's amazing. These 3 days are wonderful for us, and I hope that for you too. So now, our instructor is the amazing, the masters of Lincoln, Guido Verhoef, directly from Holland. Hi, Guido.
Hello, hello. Welcome in the Dutch safari. Nice to see you all. Well, this is the only safari I had because today we have much more than safari. We have some very cool designs with amazing color combinations. So I am excited to show you. So are you ready? I am, and let's start. The first thing that I want to show you is how I make a birthday bouquet, because the bouquets are super popular all over the world, and I see many designs with different ideas that all work wonderfully. But the only thing I always miss is the Lincolns. So I use actually the Lincoln to create a base. And if you work with Lincolns on your bouquets, you have more attachment points. You need to work less with glue, so you work faster. And it creates a nice, elegant look. So I'm going to start by making a bouquet for Paola, because you never know, but she turned 25 today. So,
Yes.
yay! So let's start. And I am going to start with the base that I make with Lincolns. So start with a cluster of 5. And I use silver, reflex silver. And I inflate them 10 inch. Now I already prepared a water weight. So what I do is, this is my first balloon, and now I just add the other 4. Now I have my cluster of 5. Now I'm going to make a ring of 5. Make sure that if you tie Lincolns, I prefer to tie them tip to nozzle. So I don't like to tie them 2 by 2. Sometimes I do, but it's a little bit more strong if you tie them tip to nozzle, because then you always have a nozzle at each connection point. So you can use the nozzles to attach things, plus you always know where you start and where you end with your string. So, but I still inflate them 2 by 2. So I wrap one around my ring finger, and now I just continue. 1, 2 times around, and I make a loose knot. If you wrap tight 2 times and then make a loose knot, you can always undo the knot if you want. So 1, 2 times and a loose knot. Now it's important to tie tight because I don't want to have any slack in between. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to inflate some 5-inch, and I'm going to put them on the cluster of 5. And I'm also going to use silver. I inflate the 5-inch around 3.5 inch. So I squeeze out the air a little bit to the end so that they're nice and shiny. Now it's really important to tie the 5-inch tight to the link. And now what I do is I hold the nut and I wrap the nut around the ring. So don't grab the balloon, but grab the nut. So now I push the nut over the ring. So if I only grab the 5-inch, then there's a possibility that the nut slacks down so that it goes down. So it's better to push the nut, hold the nut, and roll. Again. Now you see I have the water weight on the wrong side, so I'm going to push it down. And now I have my base. And I use this base for many, many things. For also to make columns, because it's a very nice, elegant base. It's different than only stacking rounds. So it's nice that it's a little bit more elegant with the 5-inch. And it's cool because it covers the base plate. So it hides the base plate. So now I'm going to add a cluster of 5. And for that, I'm going to use navy blue. And I inflate them, let's see, yeah, this is like 8-inch. So I went from a 10-inch to an 8-inch. Because I'm only stacking 3 rows, I don't use a monoline or a 260. I just use the nozzle from one of the balloons. I heard something, and it was not a snake. So I have one balloon leaking, and I don't know which one. I found it. Okay, so I need to add one extra. So now I have a ring of 5, a cluster of 5 Lincolns, and now a cluster of 5 rounds. 10 inch, 10 inch, 8 inch. Remember that if you size, if I talk about 10 inch, a Lincoln I size tip to nozzle. So for me, as an example, this is like a 8-inch Lincoln, but it's like a 7.5-inch round, because as a Lincoln I size from the tip to the nozzle. And the reason why I do that is because you can more easily calculate how much length you need. Plus, you have more sizes, more variety in sizes to play with, because the size grows more fast when it's with rounds than with Lincolns. It goes more slow. So the length. So now I have the first two. Now I actually want to add the same as what I did here on top. So instead of just doing that again, you already saw how that works. So I already prepared one. And now you see I have the base for my bouquet. The reason why I prefer also to use this on the top is because of the following. I'm going to show you. Now, I use the 25 as an example, but of course this works with any letter. But the problem is it depends on the brand that you use, where the attachment points are. And sometimes they have an attachment point in the middle, but sometimes only on the sides. So you always have to find where is the correct attachment point. Now, that's the reason why many people use just clusters, 2 clusters, and put it on top. But I don't like a big base. I like it when it's like more elegant, like more like a vase. So I needed my connection points. Now, in this case, when I look at the 25, you see I have a connection point here and here where I hold them, and on the inside, here and on the other side. So this is my middle point. So they are pretty far out, and that's exactly what I need, because if I have a ring of 5, I immediately end up here perfectly in the middle. So I am going to attach them, but for the attachment, I'm going to use 5-inch rounds. So again, I use a reflex. get punished for making a sloppy knot. All right. Now you see the position is correct, but they're not stabilized yet here. So I am going to put an extra line to pull them to the middle here. You can use a piece of monoline. In this case, I'm going to use a 260 in silver because I have one. Now, there are some rings here on the foil, but if you only attach it here and you pull it in, then often it breaks. They're not so strong. So I pull the balloon through the ring, and now I wrap it a few times around the attachment point. So now it's really tight. I do the same on the other side. Now the only thing I have to do is pull this part in and tie it to the center. I'm just wrapping it around two nozzles. Now, what I like about the ring of 5 is now what I have here is I have one point in the middle, so I can easily add something like a heart. If you want, you can also put it a little bit backwards, and now you have 2 points where you can put something. Like for instance, if you are making something for a wedding anniversary, then you can put 2 hearts with 2 names and use this point. Now, because Paola is only alone, it's her birthday only for her, so I only need 1 point and I use this point. So I'm going to add a heart. Let's add the silver heart. See, every time with the attachment point, I just use a 5-inch to clip them on. So I haven't used any glue or nothing yet. You see, it's very stable already, but of course I'm going to make it more stable. So the first thing what I'm going to do is now I'm going to add extra 5-inch on the points where I already have a 5-inch, like like here, I'm going to put an extra duplet. And now is the first moment that I'm going to add some color, because until this moment, I actually like it that it's more easy to see what you're doing if you're only working with a few colors. And now I just add a little bit of color. So I'm going to add some mustard. And I'm going to add some sand. One more. Okay, let's start with this. You see that I choose to go down with the mustard here, the sand up, and here the mustard up, the sand down, and again here in reverse. It's not only to make it look a little bit more nice, but it's also for the stability important, because automatically it creates a lot more stability now. So it's already very stable. Let me add some on the bottom. All right. Now I'm going to add something on the top. Because I want to add an extra heart here. And you see there's still space, so it's still moving. And actually, I want to add a heart here in the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 2 Lинколунams here to make a connection point from this point to here. So again, I start by adding a 5-inch round silver. If I say silver, I mean automatically a reflex silver, because they're so amazing. That's basically all I use nowadays. So again, to make sure that I don't lose them, I just go through the ring first, but then I loop them around. So sometimes, depending on the number you use, you have different attachment points and you need to find different solutions. Sometimes, like if this would be like a 7, it's really close to the edge, and I could immediately wrap these two together and put the heart in the middle. Now, because the two curves, so there's a little bit more space, I need to find another solution. For that, I'm going to use 2 Lyncolons. So normally I use, depending on what color you use, I use 16 Lincolns for this. But because I work with reflex, I don't have 16 reflex. I'm using a 12 and I size it back. So again, a 5" on both sides. And now you see everything is locked together and it's already super stable. Now, I still need to add a few more duplets, which also creates extra stability. So again, I'm using the same sand and mustard. One more. Now, again, for the attachment of the heart, I'm going to use, again, a 5". I'll play a little bit with the colors to make it look nice.
Guido,
Now, yes,
you haven't put weight on it yet, right?
I put a weight on the bottom.
Ah, okay, you put a weight on the bottom. Sorry, they were asking. Okay.
Yes, there's a water weight. I'm
A
going to show
water
you.
weight. Okay, great. At the bottom, 1 water weight. That's around 12 or something?
I always, for a water weight, I always double stuff around 12 balloon.
Okay.
And I inflated the size of an orange.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yes, I can see it. And let me tell you, you make my birthday present with my favorite combination. I love the midnight mustard palette.
Ah, I knew it.
You know me.
So I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. So now let me see if you can see everything correctly. I have a little stool here.
Yes, we can see it.
Yes, now it's good in the view. All right. Now, I just want to add a few more navy blue because I only put some navy blue on the bottom and now the color doesn't come back. So for balanced design, repetition of color is very important. So I just want to add a little navy blue here, here, and on the sides. So look at that color combination. Absolutely gorgeous.
It's amazing that until this moment you haven't glued anything.
No, nothing is glued.
Yes,
nothing.
It's amazing. And it looks perfect and with stability and all. So it's amazing.
But what I like about it is it's very strong, and actually it's when you only attach, it goes faster and it's more strong, it's more stable. And I make a design like this normally in 35 minutes completely. So for me it's very effective because then you can count how many designs you can make.
And it's perfect when people got to make deliveries, Guido, because then they don't have to worry that if they glue to be careful or something.
Yes, one of the big problems when you glue is always when people move things. Like here in Holland, you have a lot of wind. So the moment you come outside, you hear the balloon bond. So I found I use a little bit, but for me the base. It's important that the base is not fixed with glue, because if you have the base with glue and something breaks, then you lose the whole construction. And now if I only glue a little thing, it doesn't matter if something would happen, but you'd never want this. And now I can do whatever I want. I can move it around. You see, I can be super strong and it's still alive. So
great.
Now, let me work on the details. I always like the little lines with the 260s. So I'm just going to add a few little lines with 260 reflex silver. Now, depending what I'm doing, I want to, sometimes I already tie, because then I don't have to hold the line. If I just work in the air, I just wrap one bubble, and I put it between my pink and my ring finger. And now I can just continue making bubbles. And especially for bouquets, I always turn a few times extra, because this will stay for a week, because the balloons are strong and it's no problem. But I don't want the 260s to die quickly. So I make a few times extra twists than what I normally do. So normally I do like 3, and now I do like 5 twists. So now I finished the first bubble. I'm not even going to tie it in, because I'm a little bit lazy. No, because I want to be fast. So whenever I can be fast, I will be the one who's going to do it. So now I'm going to use the first bubble and the last bubble to just loop it in, like basically like the connecting 5-inch with Lyncolun's. And I just hide the bubble to the end. To the back.
Can you lower a little bit the camera, Guido?
Yes.
Just so we can check what you are doing.
Okay, let me zoom out a little bit.
Lower, lower. Okay,
Yes,
like that.
now you
Perfect.
can see it.
Okay,
All
okay,
right.
you can see it.
So I just wrapped it in on both sides. For now, because I like to make one loop, I just tuck it in for now. I'm not doing anything yet. So this is only to get it out of the way. So I'm gonna do the same. If I add the bubbles in the end, it takes me 5 minutes extra. So then I'm working 40 minutes. So what I'm doing now is I'm not even, I just loop the ends together, lock the ends together. Last one bubble. And now, like this, I am going to attach it on the next point. I'm going to do one more on the other side. I'm attaching it on this side. Add a duplet here, so I'm going to do that now with the sand and the mustard. Now to lock it in, I'm just using one of the nozzles, and now it's attached. So I don't need to do a lot. And do the same on this side. I just find a nozzle, and I loop the nozzle around the middle of the bubble ring. So now I am going to add the last hearts. Let me add a little bit of silver lining here as well. So the other way what you can do, if you find it difficult to do it between your pink and your ring finger, is to already tie the nozzle of the 260 to one of the nozzles that you have here. And now I don't need to hold the ends. If you know where you exactly want it, you can already tie it in. But sometimes I'm not exactly sure where I want to put it later, and then I prefer to do it in my hand. Now the 260 line creates a nice little flow. So it's a nice, elegant line that flows. So I don't want it too stiff or stuck too much. Now I'm still going to add one more blue, navy blue in the front. Every time I'm looking at the color combination, like to get the sand and the navy blue and the mustard together, and then the silver becomes more or less the background. So these are the colors that I want to pop out, have pop out. So now I'm going to add a few more little hearts, like 9-inch hearts. And again, I'm using a 5-inch navy blue for the attachment, because I need it here in navy blue anyway. And you see it goes much faster if you think about where you want to put the 5-inch anyway. So now you use them as attachment points. Now I'm just using the bubble line to tie in the heart. Sometimes I add a piece of a 260, a scrap, to tie it in, but this works nicely. One more. Now the question is, can you see where this one should go? This is important if you make designs, that you understand how flow works. So let me, all right. Now, the flow of the design starts with the heart on the left and goes all the way around up. So basically, I would like to have this one here, because then it's completely in the line. Yeah? So I'm adding this one here. Now I just put it, stuck it in, so I didn't add it yet. So I am going to add a little bit of glue here. Now, depending on the brand you use, the foils, sometimes you need to add a little bit of, you have to clean the area a little bit. Like for instance, I know with these foils, I need to clean them, and I need to take the paint off. Otherwise, the balloon bonds doesn't stick. So I'm just using a little bit of nail polish remover. Check. I'm always double checking if I have the good spot. All right, this should work. Just hiding the end because I don't need it anymore. One little piece on the bottom and one little piece on the top. Now we have the flow, everything is done, and now we have to sing happy birthday to Paula. Oh, okay, let's not do that part, because if you want to hear me sing, then you don't want to come back anymore.
I love it. Please don't sing. I prefer the decor.
So, I am going to show you from top to bottom a little bit how it looks.
Guido, and remember to people, where do you use glue? Because everybody's asking like, oh my God, he just used glue in one point, and then so please remember in what part you just use glue.
I only use glue in the small heart in the 5. This is the only little bit of glue I use in the whole design. Because if you have Lинколунams, everything is connected to the Lинколунams with 5-inch, even on the top. You see, I just tie a 5-inch and I use 2 Lинколунams, and then you have a center, so you can add the heart on the top. Of course, you can add the name.
Amazing, wonderful. And we love the combination.
So,
yes, I love it.
So this is the bouquet. Normally, because I really like this color combination, it's very elegant and it's fashionable. And what I like about it is this is a very good combination which works for a man and woman both. So when I make a design like this for women, I always use for the birthday bouquets, I use the hearts. When it's for men, I use the stars. But this color combination looks super trendy and looks super good. So it's a fantastic color combination for men.
It's neutral, right?
Sorry?
It's neutral. So you can, as you said, it's for men and for women. It's perfect.
Yes, exactly.
Love it. Love it.
Yes.
Now please just send it to Colombia.
All right. So I'm going to put this one on the side. because I am going to add something in the same style with the same color combination. I am going to make a ring, and it's like the same as what you see for around Christmas time, like the holly with the ring. And it's nice because you can put a flag inside, or you can stand behind it, and you have a very nice photo frame. So I am going to show you how to build that, and it's not so complicated.
In the meanwhile, let me remember to everybody that the classes will be recorded. This class is recorded, and that tomorrow you can see this class in the showroom. It's on the top of the screen of your computer or your laptop or where you are using. You will see a button that says memories, and in there you will record this class and all the classes all the time you want. The showroom will be available for all of you for a month. Yes, the whole month.
So, wow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a ring of 12 Lincolns, and I size them 10 inch. So this is a ring of 12 sized 10 inch. Now I'm adding a second one. So also a ring of 12 size 10 inch. And I'm adding one ring of 12 sized 6 inch. I only need to restore one.
Guido, can you please repeat the sizes?
Yes. I started with a ring of 12 inch Lинколунams sized 10 inch. Then I do the same again. So again a ring of 12 inch Lинколунам sized 10 inch. And then I have a ring of 12 sized 6 inch. Now in this case, I used 12 inch Lинколунams sized 6 inch because I don't have the 6 inch Lинколунам reflex silver. So I just downsized them. The difference with the 6 inch Lинколунам sized 6 inch and a 12 inch Lинколунам sized 6 inch is that they're more round because they're bigger. So they're a little bit bigger than if you would normally inflate a 6 inch sized 6 inch. Now, I want to connect those rings together. So for that, I'm going to inflate strings of 3. And I am going to inflate them again 6 inch. So I squeeze out the air a little bit to make them more round. And I put a mustard 5 inch on both ends. And I inflate the mustard around 3 inch. I still need one more because I need a string of 3. to squeeze. I really squeeze out the air as much as I can to get them nice and round. So now I have a string of 3, and I'm gonna close it later. So I have a ring of 3, and these are my connecting rings to connect the bigger rings. But before I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna add first duplets on the missing points here. Now, in this case, I'm using a 12-inch round balloon, and I split it in 2. Actually, I end up now with 2 pinch twists is actually 2 round balloons. And the reason why I do this instead of using a 5-inch duplet is because I don't have 5-inch balloons in navy blue. So you can always find a solution. Like in this case, I just use a 12-inch, split it in 2, and I have my 5-inch duplet. In the totals that you get, I am going to add the 5-inch duplets, because this should be actually like a 5-inch duplet. But it's a nice trick to know if you don't have any 5-inch. So now I have a connecting ring. So what I'm going to do is I start with a small ring, and I lock the mustard 5-inch together, and I clip it to the ring. Like this. Now I'm going to continue doing the same. But I already prepared the rings of 3. So here we go. And the reason why I prefer to do it like this instead of tying 3 balloons and then add duplets is this is faster. It's a little bit more fast to make a string of 3, put 5-inch on the ends, and then clip them together. Because if I tie a ring of 3, it's a little bit difficult to tie, and then you still need to push the balloons through the duplets. And now they're already there. So it's a little bit faster than doing it in another way. Two more. So now I added all the rings of 3 to the inside ring of 12. So they're all 6-inch. And now I'm going to add a ring on the outside. So for that, I'm going to use the ring of 12 size 10-inch. So now I added 1 ring, and now I'm going to add on the last point the other ring of 12.
People is asking, just remind, the rings are ring of 12 balloons, right, Guido?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, all the rings are rings of 12, and the inside are triangles. So it's like a ring of 3.
Okay.
So here you see the full ring. Now I'm going to add some details. Now the nice thing about this ring, I think, is that it goes a little bit in. It's not flat, but it has some depth because of this line. So I want to add some flowers. So for that, I'm going to use some 260 flowers. And I'm going to add some sand. So I use a 260 sand. Now the easy way is actually to just keep the balloon soft. That's always nice. So I always let a little bit of air out before I tie it. And now just make small loops. And you have to learn a little bit the size of the loops that you have to make. This is an 8-inch. So I use 8-inch And I just rub the nozzle around the balloon, and then I just pull the nut through the center so it doesn't come undone. I need 6 flowers, 6 petals. So just to make sure that I'm not making a mistake, I'm just gonna use a small little bubble in the end. And the last one I split in 2. So if it's a little bit smaller, then I know 2 are a little bit smaller, but they're the same size. Now this is the simple way, and now I'm gonna push one side of each lobe of each petal. I'm gonna push it in the one next to it. And I just keep on doing that. All the way around. And then it looks a little bit nicer than only adding like only having the petals straight. So it's like a little bit of a spiral. Now I'm using a 5-inch reflex silver, just inflated like a 1-inch bubble, just as the core, like the middle. Now the cool thing is I have a core, but I also have a nozzle in the back, so I can use the nozzle to attach it to my ring. So this is the first one, and I am going to make in total. I'm going to make 5. So I already have 1 here. Let me check where I have the rest. Yes. Because I don't want to waste your time today. So it's the same again. So I already have 4 here. So I made 2 in navy blue, and I made 3 in sand. Yeah? So now I have 5 flowers. I also want to make a little bit more advanced one, or a little bit bigger one. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And I love this flower because you can really play with it. I came up with it like a long time ago, and I still find new ways to build on or do something different with it. So I start with inflating 2 260s, a sand and a navy blue. And I leave approximately like 4 fingers, 4 inch uninflated. And I tie the ends together, make a really tight knot. Now, what I'm doing is I am making, I use my fingers for the measurements. I'm using like a 4-finger bubble. I hold it, and now I make a 4-finger bubble on the other side. Now, again, I use a 4-finger bubble, but I twist both sides simultaneous. And now I repeat the same steps. 1 and 2. See, I hold them again between my pinky and my ring finger so that it doesn't go while I twist the other one. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need one more. I need 6 rings of 4. You see, I have a little bit over in the end, and that's like, ideally speaking, if I do it absolutely perfect, I end up with the end of the balloon, but I don't mind if it's a little bit too much, as long as I don't make the bubbles too big, because if I make the bubbles a little bit bigger, then automatically everybody a bubble is a little bit bigger, and then I come on short. So I really need 6 of these. So now I make a ring, so don't make them too big. Better a little bit smaller than big. Now I pop the end of the balloon and I tie it off. I don't use my nail, I just snap with my finger by using friction. So I rub with my finger over the balloon to pop the end. If you want to learn to do the friction correctly, I made a little video about it. It's on the Be Brilliant tips from Metallic on YouTube. If you look for that, you can find a way to learn to pop a balloon. All right. So now you have a crown. And this is going to be the base of my flower. Now I can choose if I want to have blue on the inside and the sand, the white on the outside, or if I want to have the white on the inside. Now in this case, I am going to go with the blue on the inside. Again, I use a small 5-inch reflex and I size it to like a 1-inch. Now I wrap it, because I want the blue on the inside, I wrap it around one of the points with the blue, like not in the middle, but I choose the blue side to tie it. Now you have 6 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 points. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach the 3 points. So it means I skip one and I attach to this one. I skip one and I attach to this one. And then I skip one again. So I grab the next one and I just roll the 5-inch around. And now I grab again the same, the 3rd point, and I roll the 5-inch around again. So I attached 3 points together. Now I can actually choose two things. If I want to make like a double colored flower, I could do something and I could add, because actually what I did in the beginning, this was a double line. Yeah, one in blue, one in sand. Now I grabbed 3 of the blue, so now this is still a double line, but here it's single because the blue is on the inside. So here I also want to make a single line. So I could grab this sand color and the next one and the third one. And if I tie it to the middle, then you have a star that looks like this. So in 2 colors on the outside. But I actually want 1 color on the outside, 1 color on the inside. So instead of grabbing these 3, I grab all the blue. So all the blue go to the inside, and I just lock the 5-inch around it. And again, now, if you try this for the first time and the balloons, the bubbles are very strong, very hard, then it's more difficult to do it. If you have a soft balloon and it's very soft and nice to work with, then it's more easy to do it. So what I can recommend you is to practice the first time with the reflex silver and gold, for instance, because they're very soft. So they're more soft and easy to work with. So it's a good balloon to practice. Now you see I have a very ugly nozzle here, a neck from the beginning. So I'm gonna cut it off and I'm gonna make them disappear in the inside. So now I have the base of my flower, and I am actually going to add another line, because you can already leave it like this. This is already a nice flower, but I want to add a little bit more. So I am going to add one more line in sand. So I'm just going to start at the same point as where I have all the knots, because then I only have one ugly point with all the knots together. I only have to hide one. Now I go immediately from this cross point to the next and all the way around. So this is like a 4-finger bubble. And now what I do is I just push it and go to the back. A 4-finger bubble, and I go to the front. And every time I do the same. I just make a 4-finger bubble and I roll it a little bit to the inside. Go back and forth, from the front to the back, front to the back. Now I'm all the way around. I go for a second round. So again, just continuing. Now I I make this called a roll through. It's like a twister turn. So I just roll one 4-finger bubble over the other one, like this, and now they're stuck.
Perfect there.
See, I lock it, and now I roll one bubble over the other one, and now it's locked. Last one. I'm doing it a little bit in slow motion that you can see it more easily. If it still goes too fast, you can watch this video again. For 1 month. So you can practice for 1 month. After that, you're on your own. So I don't need the rest. And now I have my little bit advanced flower. So this is the simple one, and this is the little bit more advanced one. Now I'm going to put them in place, and I like to use 3 of them in the big size. So I have 3 big ones. All right. Now I'm starting with the 3 big ones. I just use the nozzle that's on the back. And I just tie it onto a nozzle that I find somewhere. So I don't glue at this point. I'm gonna put one big one on this side. Oh. So now I'm going to add some small ones. I like it the other way around. So. Let's put it here. Now, you see the sand is only used in the 260s, so it just adds a nice little detail. Often what I see with designs is that people use too many colors everywhere. So it's better to stay a little bit more nice with colors, like I use only the blue on the outside, the yellow is only here one ring on the inside. I don't put yellow everywhere. So I just try to keep it more harmonious. So now let's see, 2, 4. I think I should have one more. Yes, there it is. You see, again, I didn't glue anything yet. I just used the nozzles of the balloons to attach. So there's no frame, no nothing, only balloons. And now, if you want to, of course, you can add something in the middle. Because it's still Paola's birthday. So I'm going to add the 25 in the middle.
Send it to Colombia. I love all the details. It's make amazing this design.
It's simple, but it's still effective. I'm going to use a little bit of monoline because it's quicker to tie them in. And I like quick, as you know. So if you don't want to lose a knot in the monoline, always make 3 knots. Just 1, 2, 3, and then it has enough friction to hold. Let me try that from the back. Normally, this is easier to do when you are when you put it on the flat on the table. But if I put it flat, you can't see what I'm doing. So. So should be like this. So I'm going to attach that one here. See, I don't even tie it. I just wrap a piece of monoline, and the only thing that I do now is I loop it, and now I just loop it around the duplets, the mustard duplets, and I just make an 8 figure. So I just go 2 times around, and that's enough. Done. So I don't even tie anything. I just loop. And now this is the only point that I'm going to use a little bit of glue just to tie the ends, tie these parts together. So I'm going to use a piece of balloon bond just to stick those 2 parts together. Let's see if it goes without using the nail polish. Yeah, they stick. Awesome. And I'm going to use a little bit of balloon bond also to hide the outlets, the nozzles, the valves. That's the correct word. So I tape them to the back. Now, it would be perfect if I have scissors. Cutting off the last pieces. See if this works. And now you
Yes, you move camera.
see. Ta-ta-da. All right.
Perfect for this scenario.
And now, yeah, okay. Oh, well, it's a
You
little
have
bit
to move
out
it a
of
little
balance.
bit to the right.
It's a little bit out of balance. Let me check if I can.
It's easy for you to move it.
Let me check. No idea. Uh,
It's attached to the roof with monofilament.
I have a invisible monofilament line attached on the wall, but it's a little bit difficult to get it in place. But let's see. I think I had the wrong position, so it should be. Now I think it's correct, right?
Like that, like that. A lot of people is asking me your Instagram. So you can search for Guido on Guido Verhoef
777.
777. Can you show us your name? Is on the right of my screen. You have your name there on Lincoln Tourist, so people can.
Okay. Yes, I understand what you say. Oh,
Yeah,
it's not on the Zoom. It's not written there. So
on the right. Yeah, on the right. No, to go. Okay, check how you can. It's Guido Verhoef 777.
Yes.
Okay, a lot of people were asking. On our social medias also, when we post everything about you, we also tag you, so people can check also your Instagram.
Well, what is maybe nice for people to know. Okay, here you see the close-up. The light is not perfect here, I think, but I don't know if you can see it correctly. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now you see it's nice in combination with the one here.
Someone is asking me how you put the last figure to the roof. Oh, with monofilament. You just said that.
Yes, I have a monoline always there.
A lot of people is asking me if you can repeat the first flower. The second took too much time maybe, but maybe the easy one just for a moment.
Sure.
We got 10 minutes, so I think it works.
Okay. Yeah, I can do two things, or I can show you how to make a big flower bush, or I can show you how to make a small flower.
Okay, show us.
Because we only have 10 minutes, so you have to choose now.
Do you have time to make the big one?
In 10 minutes, I can do it. But then I cannot make the small one again. But you can watch the movie, the film again.
Yes, do the big one, because people can watch again and again and a whole month.
Yes, exactly. So, in 10 minutes, I'm going to show you how to make a super cool, nice flower bush. Okay?
Woo! That's the bonus.
The bonus. So, what you need is you need a base plate, something like this. What I did is I use a bolt, and I just bolt the bolt to the base plate. Now I use some iron rods, some metal rods. they're steel, actually, steel rods. And with the 260, you can wrap the rod to the bolt. Let's see if I can show that to you. So just by wrapping the 260 around, it gets tighter and tighter, and then in the end it gets stuck. All right. Now I have only one, so I didn't do a very good job yet, but you can wrap it really tight. Now, if you have one, you can also add another one and another one and another one until you have in total, I'm going to show you. I use 12. So I have 12 rods all tied the same way. Now I use 3 of 90 centimeters and then 3 of 1 meter 20, so 30 centimeters higher, then 3 of 1 meter 50, and then I use 1 of 1 meter 80. Okay, so 3, 3, 3, and 1. So in total, that's 10, sorry. So I use 10 rods in total. Now, okay, you see here, I use the little cups on the top. And so I just tape the cups. You don't actually need it for this design, but I use it for now because I always have this, because I also use this for air-filled bouquet. So I can just put a foil or a round balloon in the cup, and I just have a air-filled bouquet with 10 balloons without using helium. But in this case, I'm not using the cups, but I leave them on because otherwise I need to take them out and off again. So for the base, I use a cluster of 5, and this one is 6 inch. No, wait, this one is, I'm making a mistake, this is not 6, this is 7, yes. So I use a cluster of 5 12-inch reflex silver, sized 7-inch, and on top I'm gonna put a cluster of 5 5-inch, sized 4-inch. Now I'm gonna hide this on the base plate. 1. And the next one on top. Done, that's all. Now I'm going to make little garlands. These are clusters of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 clusters of 5 and 1 single on the top. Okay, so it's just a little garland, nothing special. So I'm going to give you the sizes. So I start with a reflex silver. These are all 12-inch rounds. This is sized 6-inch. Then the next layer is 6.5-inch. Then the next layer is 6-inch. Then I have 3 layers of 5-inch round. One is 5-inch, 4.5-inch, 4-inch. And one single at the top, also 4-inch. So one more time. Clusters of 5. The bottom is 6-inch. So these are 12-inch Lincolns sized 6-inch. Then 6.5. Then 6. Then 5. Then 4.5. Then 4. So this is the whole cluster. And now I am going to put this one, and I'm just going to lock it on the bottom 2. So for the stability, I make sure that it's always locked in 2 balloons. So not only in the bottom, because then it goes in all directions. So now I have 1. And now I'm going to add a few more, because I made the same with mustard, and I made the same with aquamarine. This is a fantastic color combination. I love this. So I start every layer with 1 lilac, 1 aquamarine, and 1 mustard. Now the cups help it to keep it in place a little bit, but actually it's not so important, because otherwise I just have to wrap it a couple of times extra. But with the aquamarine, with the cups, it helps a little bit. So I'm going to add another line. And again, I use the 3 colors. Now you see I go to the opposite side. If I put the first mustard there, then I put the next mustard here. So
Guido, people ask me how many days you can these designs can be alive, can be completely.
It depends if it's outdoors or indoors. It depends on the climate where you live. But because these are 12-inch round balloons and they're underinflated, they can go. This is all air filled, so they can go for a very long time. If this is indoors, if it's air conditioned, then it can be for half a year. So. But it really depends on the climate where you are. But I think that's a question you can answer easier for Colombia, for instance, than I do.
But it's the same, as you said. It depends if it will be outdoor or indoor, even in Holland or in any country.
Yes.
And also, as you said, a good a good tip is that people don't use the balloon to inflate it, also to the maximum size.
Yes,
Maybe that
exactly.
helps out, as you said, that helps a little bit so it can last for more time, the decorations.
And now you have a colorful flower bush. So let me zoom out for a moment for you.
Yes. Guido, everything was amazing. Everything looks so beautiful.
So this was it. I'm going to go up and down for a moment so you can see it. And then I think we are on the end.
Yes. We are out of time, but people just send you a lot of messages like, hey, love your design, love that you don't use any glue, just in a small point. And they also said that they love your last combination with the mustard and the lilac and all that, with the reflex silver. Thanks
So
for all the tips.
thank you so much. It was really nice having you all here in my studio.
Love your studio.
Actually, I am this Sunday because this studio is my balloons and bubble studio. So every other Sunday on Facebook Live, they're on the art of balloons. So Facebook/the art of balloons. That's my my company Facebook, and that's where I every other week I do a show and I teach design. So if you want to know more, then you can always come and see what we
Your
do
next
there.
show, when is your next show?
This Sunday.
This Sunday? Okay.
Yes.
Hour from Colombia is 2 p.m.
Yes.
Yes, because I connect, so I know.
7,
So
8, 9.
it's
No.
not 2 p.m. from Colombia.
No,
Yes, it's in the afternoon.
I think it's 1.
Okay,
Because
1 or
it's
2.
7.
Right.
Yeah, 1.
Let me
1.
move right down.
Yes, because it's 7 hours difference.
And
And
on
I think
you
we
also
start at
put
8.
that on your Instagram, Guido, so we can check every time.
On my Instagram, I always give the updates.
Okay, perfect. So if you want more classes, I always take these classes with Guido, are on Sunday.
So these are the designs that I make also, and that you can find on balloonartonline.com. This is where.
Beautiful.
This is from the last class. All right.
Don't worry. So we'll see you on Sunday. Guido, thanks for everything and for being with us as always. And love the bouquet, love all the old designs. And remember, send it to Colombia for my birthday.
Yeah, I will. Thank you so much. Muchas
Thank
gracias
you.
para
Muchas
todo.
gracias. Gracias por
Bye-bye.
todo. Bye bye. See you soon.
See you soon.